On to the final. So, last but not least, we'll be hearing from Pedaling Innovations, all the way out from Grand Junction, Colorado. They've developed a breakthrough in bike pedal technology, and their pedal is the world's first mid-foot optimized pedal, giving you better power, balance, and comfort on your bike. Please welcome to the stage, Pedaling Innovations.
I want to thank you guys for the chance to come here. I'm super excited. You mind if I get a quick selfie with you guys so I can post it and share it? All right, ready? 1, 2, 3. Yeah. All right, thanks. Now we can get down to business. All right, so my name's James Wilson. I'm the owner of Pedaling Innovations and the creator of the Catalyst pedal. Now, the Catalyst pedal is the world's first mid-foot optimized pedal. It's based on real science and movement principles, and it's guaranteed to give you the power of clipless pedals, the fun and safety of flats, and comfort that no other pedal can provide. It is a simple but revolutionary concept that in the last 2 years has already sold almost 5,000 pairs of pedals around the world, grossing over $500,000. And it's done this in the face of some pretty good opposition from traditionalists in the cycling industry who'd rather see things just stay the same. You see, for a long time, we've been misled about foot position and pedal stroke on the bike. And it stems from one simple thing. Everyone just assumes that at some point somebody actually looked into this stuff and studied it, and that yes, the science does confirm that you do want to push through the ball of the foot, and yes, you do want to pull up on the backstroke. These are the two common things that we hear. But what if it wasn't true? What if these two things actually had less science to back them up than the flat earth theory does? Yeah. Unfortunately, that's what I found out when I started to dig into this stuff myself. Now, let me back up a little bit. I'm a strength coach by trade. Some of you may know me by my alter ego, Bike James, with MTB Strength Training Systems. And it was in this role that I got a chance to work with some really high-level riders, including the Yeti World Cup team several years ago. And it was when I was working with these riders who use clipless pedals that I decided to look into the science about clipless pedals and find out how exactly do they work so I can create training programs that enhance what they're doing. Makes sense, right? Well, this is when I got my first surprise. I couldn't find anything. I mean, people just act like you can throw a stick and hit 5 studies that just prove beyond a shadow of a doubt that, yeah, this is the right foot position, and yeah, this is the right way to pedal your bike, but it wasn't the case. So I thought, well, maybe I'm just not looking in the right places. Start reaching out to my network, seeing if I'm missing something. And this is when things started to get even weirder. I got people and coaches contacting me with stuff that not only didn't back up the popular views of foot position and pedal stroke, but actually pointed in the opposite direction. Stuff like studies that said you don't want to pull up on the backstroke, movement principles that say you don't want to push through the ball of the foot, all sorts of stuff. And this was my first introduction to what we really know and what the science really says about this stuff versus what the cycling industry is preaching to us. And over the years, I gathered a lot more science and stuff together, and about 5 or 6 years ago, I put it all into a document I called the Flat Pedal Revolution Manifesto. You guys can Google it and download it. It's a free download, and you guys can get a lot more information there, but here's the take-home message, guys. There is there is science out there about this stuff. It just doesn't back up what the cycling industry is telling us. Now, the final piece of the puzzle came to me one day when I'm sitting on the trail and I'm wondering, why don't I need stiff-soled shoes to squat and deadlift in the gym? Like I said, I'm a strength coach. I'm really into barefoot training and barefoot running. You know, I can go into the gym and lift hundreds of pounds barefoot. Not to brag, but you know, the point is I got a plenty strong, stable platform for a foot, but I get on my bike and it turns into this weak, unstable mess. What's going on here? So I'm sitting here thinking about it, and all of a sudden, literally, this voice just comes out of nowhere, and it says, "It's because the ground supports both ends of your arch, dumbass." I was like, okay, that was it. That was the literal light bulb moment. The arch is one of the strongest forms in nature, but only if you support both ends of it. You destabilize one end of an arch and the whole thing falls to crap. And all of a sudden you're using things like stiff-soled shoes and trying to attach your foot to the pedal to try to compensate for it, when it's really just a matter of having an unstabilized arch. So that was it. That's what led to the design of the Catalyst pedal. Now, the Catalyst pedal gives you a full 5 inches of contact space, which allows you to connect both ends of your arch. And this revolutionary or patented design, so we do have a patent on the design, the patented design has 3 major benefits. 1, increased power. You're now able to use your hips more effectively. Your hips are your glutes and your hamstrings. These are the strongest muscles in your lower body. One study actually found they're the main drivers of the pedal stroke, not the quads. And because you're relying on the pedal body to support your foot, you're not getting flex out of the foot and the ankle, so you're getting better power transfer to the cranks, even with soft-soled shoes. Number 2, better stability. Because you've got the forces on either end, instead of relying on one balance point in the middle, you get rid of this whole forward toe tipping thing that your foot wants to come off the pedal that we're all used to. And this foot position actually allows you to use your hips more effectively to absorb impacts instead of relying on the weaker ankle joints. And number 3, comfort. And this is a big one. Because you're not relying on your foot, the plantar fascia and the Achilles tendon and the calf to help hold up and stabilize the back of the arch, it can relax. You're also not jamming your toes into the toe box every time you pedal and stand up, so they're not getting cramped and hurt as well. Plus, the better muscle recruitment with the hips takes stress off of the knees and the low back. So lots of good benefits there. Now, so since we've released this pedal 2 years ago, like I said, we've already sold almost 5,000 pairs around the world, grossing over $500,000, and we've had hundreds of emails from riders telling us how this pedal has impacted their lives. It has increased their performance and confidence. It has gotten rid of nagging aches and pains that were plaguing them, and just basically helped them have more fun and regain their love of riding. And while I'm a mountain biker and started out with that, mountain bikers, we've had riders from a lot of different disciplines using our pedals. Excuse me here. Will you stop my time, Eric? Okay. Anyway, so we've had people from road riding. We've got a cult following in BMX, bike packing, just to name a few. Markets for this pedal are huge. We actually have a licensing deal with a company over in the UK who's going to start bringing the pedal to the UK and the EU market. Also see the spin bike market is a big one for us. I jokingly call it the Brazilian booty pedal for that market. And also triathletes who will be able to benefit from being able to ride in the same shoes that they run in and not have to deal with sore feet and ankles when they get done. There was actually a study that showed you had faster running times with a mid-foot position in a duathlon. But anyway, so bringing things to a close here, I'm the guy to bring this mission forward because I hope you can tell that there's no one who's as passionate about this as I am. To me, the Catalyst pedal is not a product, it's a mission. It is a manifestation of the truth about foot position and pedal stroke on the bike. And my ultimate goal is to free people from the myths and half-truths of the past that are holding them back. I want to thank you guys for taking the time to listen to my story and how Pedaling Innovations is changing the cycling industry and impacting lives. And while I'd love to win this competition, I'll be honest with you, I'll consider it a win if I got one person here to at least think about what I'm saying and look into it for themselves. Thank you very much.
Awesome work. All right, let's open up for questions. I'm going to ask, please, so we do have 2 of the boxes around. Let's please use them so we can hear. So
Test.
starting up front.
Do you sell them in clipless?
No, they are, here's what I found out. Clipless were never better. We just had shitty pedal designs. Everything that you think that you need clipless pedals for, this pedal takes care of. That's literally it, because again, you guys got to remember, man, like the bicycle that we have, it's the safety bicycle. It was invented in the late 1800s. You literally had dudes in bowler hats and handlebar mustaches looking at this newfangled thing, trying to theorize what's the best way to power it, okay? And they didn't have a way to study it. They didn't have a way to look at it. But we just charged head first into the first 100+ years of the cycling industry without ever actually stopping to confirm that these dudes were right, okay? And so that's what's led to all of the designs that you see. That's why all the pedals are so small, because you just need to push through the ball of your foot, because it's like running or walking, right? Well, it's not. The clipless pedals are there because you want to pull up on the backstroke. Well, that's not how the human body works. Again, the science pretty clearly shows that that's not the best way to pedal your bike. And in fact, when you get into the higher reaches of coaching, there's a lot of high-level coaches who know this stuff. But you don't become popular in the cycling industry by telling everybody that they're wrong. So they keep their mouths shut. Unfortunately, I'll be honest with you, the cycling industry is full of a bunch of cowards. I've had conversations with so many people editors for magazines, high-level writers who all know that this is true, who all know that clipless pedals are oversold, overhyped, and shoved down people's throats, but they won't say anything. I literally had the editor for Pink Bike, who was the most popular website, mountain biking website in the world, tell me he knows that clipless pedals are a problem, but saying something isn't going to change anything. It's just going to piss people off, so why do it? Okay, but these are the conversations that I'm having, and these are the conversations that unfortunately people who aren't at these, they don't know these things are going on. They just see the advertising, they just see the stuff, and so, yeah, man, it's crazy. It's like the Twilight Zone. So, anyways.
Got a question in the far back?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Well, first, as a bicycling professional, I'm a bike salesman. I just want to say I really appreciate this. I've come in contact with a lot of people who have knee problems and the perpetuation of basically, back when we had bikes with a little wheel in the back, big wheel in the front, the best way to be fast in a race was to go ahead and overextend your legs and hurt your knees. And so I think there's a lot of myths surrounding that you went ahead and hit on that I'm really glad that you're making a movement to go ahead and change. So first off, just a big kudos to you for that.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, you're very welcome. And then just 2 questions for you.
Yes.
One, just the price and how to get in contact with you.
We retail them for $99 online. We are going direct to consumer because I know that, unfortunately, your average bike shop guy is not going to sell this pedal. It flies in the face of everything he's been telling his customer for the last 20 years, and most people would rather eat glass than admit that they were wrong. So, $99 online, pedalinginnovations.com, and yeah, that's the best way to get them. But yeah, the knee thing is a big thing. We actually had a regenerative medicine doctor who I have no association with, didn't know anything about, had somebody point out to me, he wrote a blog post about our pedals because he had a patient who was coming to him for treatment for knee pain, and he treated him and everything else was fine, but every time he rode his bike, his knee pain would come back. He bought our pedals, and within the first 1 or 2 rides, the knee pain was completely gone. And so this doctor looked into our pedal and was like, well, yeah, this makes sense. This is how the human body's supposed to work. This takes stress off of the knees, and this is what's supposed to be going on. So we actually have doctors and chiropractors recommending our pedal to people for those reasons. But yeah, that's definitely a big one.
All right. Next question. Far back. Hand up.
Have you got any input on cornering with these pedals? Usually if you have your foot more forward on the platform, you might have issues with cornering. Do you have any input on that?
Man, cornering on these things is like cornering on skis. It's unlike any other pedal out there because when you have your whole foot supported by the pedal, now you can actually use that foot your foot to carve the turn, right? And so it's really hard. That's why I try to tell people, this is not another flat pedal. This is the world's first midfoot optimized pedal. There's no way for you to really try to understand what this pedal feels like based on your experience with other pedals because they're all too damn small. They're all designed from the wrong perspective. So once you get that whole foot stabilized, you don't have that forward toe tipping thing. And now you're able to use that foot to help carve the turns. In fact, I just had Ryan Leach out last week. I don't know if you guys know who he is. He's a really pretty well-known trials rider. But he's sponsored by another pedal company, and he jumped on my pedals, and he was just blown away by the cornering aspect. And so he actually took a pair of my pedals to ride around with and try them out. And he's like, I can't let my other company find out. I hope they're not listening to this. But, so yeah, I mean, we actually have a BMX pro, KJ Romero, who is riding our pedals. We don't sponsor him. He researched us and bought our pedals. He's sponsored by another company that has pedals, and he uses our pedals instead. So we don't seek out pro riders. We like to find people who like our pedals and then support them after the fact. But man, cornering on these things is a whole nother experience, man. Cornering's so much fun on these things.
All right, round of applause for Pedaling Innovations.
Thank you.